Okay, so I'm at Anne-Rose 2016. Tech stuff is,
Yes.
in terms of violence against women.
So we're currently in the Tech Hub, and I'm here representing MAVE, which is the Melbourne Research Alliance to End Violence Against Women and Their Children. And so that's a Melbourne-based at University. What are you doing, Jamie?
Hi, Laura.
Yes. She's actually here presenting on a couple that have been created to help women and their children. Maybe you might actually want to take the way, because they're actually your projects.
That would be great. The website.
You want me to talk about Not the Only One?
Yes,
please. Do that.
very quickly.
Yes. So Not the Only One is a website that has been funded by the Melbourne Network Society Institute very kindly. And it is basically an online database of women's survivor stories, with the aim being that it would be a secure, anonymous space for them to share stories about their experiences and read other women's stories so that they might feel less isolated, because often women do feel like they're the only one who are going through domestic violence. They don't necessarily have somebody to talk to about it. They're not necessarily comfortable accessing formal services and support. And so the thinking behind this website is that they would have a place to kind of tell their story, feel heard and validated. And so that's what this site is for. And it was launched only last week. So it's very new, but we're encouraging people to go and have a look at www. Okay, good to know. Yeah. So there are some just very basic guidelines around the kinds of stories that we're accepting. It's at the moment only a space for women, although we do acknowledge that men also experience domestic violence. Also, we're only accepting stories that are actually about domestic violence as in by an intimate partner, so other types of abuse, child sexual abuse and sexual assault, not by a partner. Those kind of things are not really within the scope of what the site is for. I guess the rationale behind that is that we're trying to create a community of shared experience, and different types of abuse have different contexts and different sort of factors associated with them, so that just starts to make things a little bit too different. Sure. What else should I say about it?
What kind of, once it gets out there and you get an audience and people participating, what kind of impact do you think that will have in the long term?
Look, it's difficult to say. Certainly the women who were involved in the process of developing this website were very positive about what we were doing, and they thought it was a great idea. I would hope that the impact would be that women would feel less isolated, would feel more supported, but obviously we will be looking at future funding to properly evaluate this and whether it does actually achieve those aims that we think that it might. So for the moment it's really there to help women, and we'd like as many women as possible to go on there and submit a story.
Cool. And the other app was I Decide?
Yes.
Yes?
Yep.
Who would like to speak about that?
Again, Laura would.
Yes. I'll give the short version because Kelsey's just spoken about it. So
thank you.
I Decide is funded by the Australian Research Council. It is an online healthy relationship tool and safety decision aid for women experiencing domestic violence. So it's currently being evaluated through a randomised controlled trial, and we've got 426 women enrolled in the study at the moment. So we're following them up at 6 and 12 months after they first got on the website to see how they're going.
Yep.
The website is basically aiming to improve women's mental health, so reduce their depressive symptoms and improve their self-efficacy, so their kind of sense of confidence that they're able to take action for safety and well-being. It's a very interactive website, or the intervention is interactive. So the aim is to get women to self-inform, self-reflect and self-manage in a safe private space. Yeah. So it's very different to the Not the Only One.
Yeah.
This one isn't about sort of sharing stories or anything like that. It's actually about translating face-to-face kind of counselling or therapeutic techniques into an online format so that women who wouldn't access services or who are maybe not ready to name their experiences as abuse can go onto either side and work through these modules, the aim of getting them to be more aware around what might be going on in their relationship, whether it's healthy or unhealthy, looking at their safety and risk, and weighing up different priorities, because we know that women sometimes struggle with different competing priorities when they're trying to make decisions about whether they're going to stay or leave or how to stay safer in their relationship. So we hope that this website can kind of help them work through all of those issues, and the end of the website kind of culminates in a tailored, individualised plan for action with some strategies that women can try that are tailored to their priorities and their choices, that they can kind of workshop through and hopefully improve their journey towards safety and well-being.
Is there any, in either side, is there any way that they get linked up to, I guess, a human face throughout this process? It's all on the app?
It's all online, so it's a website actually, not an app, although it is, you can use it on the smartphone device. So this is really about seeing whether we can deliver that kind of support via technology, so there's very limited contact with face-to-face, although we of course, part of the strategies that we recommend to women is that they do make those real-life connections with services, with family and friends, with trusted people in their lives, but there's no kind of person on the other end of a chat or anything like that who is responding to them. It's entirely a self-guided process.
And I guess, would you say that all these technological ways of supporting women are almost a way of sort of filling a bit of a gap where services are overstretched?
Yeah, absolutely. We think that it could be, and obviously that needs to be something that we have to evaluate properly, but absolutely in theory, I think that there's a huge role for technology to fill some of the gaps that services aren't able to meet, or that provide help for those women who just are never going to access those services for whatever reason.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, thank you so much for your time.
Thanks, Annie.